Well, hello and hello again. We would like to welcome you to another edition of the Living Strong Television Network broadcast, where I am once again your guest speaker, Prophet Scottie Lee Johnson. On the behalf of the Whosoever Will Outreach Ministry, hey, we're coming to you live once again, 2121 Tillman Highway. Guess what? The word of the Lord, quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. So what is God doing? He's allowing something to happen real fast, and guess what? It's taking place right now. Fast as 30 minutes. It's coming your way. So what you need to do is call a friend, call a neighbor, and let them know that Living Strong is on. Also, I would like to remind you of the up-and-coming events that are getting ready to take place in the near future. Hey, May 4th Fashion Showcase is going to be happening right here at Whosoever Will Outreach Ministry. And your host will be none other than Pastor Josie and Bostick, along with Miss Hetty of Hamilton, and I will be the moderator along with the assistants, Abi Yami Yami. So the word of the Lord that is coming forth, even as the door is shut on the way out, the Lord is releasing something in your life that is based upon promise. And I want you to know something. What's happening right now? We're coming to you live right out of Ridgeland, South Carolina. Once again, Whosoever Will Outreach Ministry. Pastor Josie and Bostick, along with Dr. Earl Bostick Sr., DMD, fastest 30 minutes starts right now. You've got to remember that, first of all, we started out talking about so much that is taking place. We went all the way from the beginning of the power of a changed mind, and then all the way up to the return release. And just recently here, we've started the new series of the Challenge of the Chosen. And I know that already the first part of the message have been a blessing to many of you and will continue to be so. And I know that this year, the Lord is setting up a standard in your life that's coming forth with evidence and proof like never before. And so what he's doing is that no longer are you going to be playing tag, you're it, because he's unfolding time to release what has already really been returned. Remember, the psalmist declares in the book of Ecclesiastes that I returned and saw under the sun, chapter number 3, that the race is not given unto the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but time and chance happeneth to them all. And so therefore, the bread is not just given unto wise, nor yet skills to men of understanding. There's something that God is building in your life, my life, that's based upon purpose. Everything about you came with a challenge. You outran millions before you got here. I want to share something with you that is so great, based upon what Father spoke to me about. And it was the fact that even when your father met your mother, there was millions of brothers and sisters that was inside the same birth canal that you were inside. Never thought about that, huh? Yeah, that's right. You had probably big muscular brothers and sisters, and you probably had athletes running in before you. You may have had movie stars right there in the same canal that you was in. But for some strange reason, you outran every last one of them, and you penetrated the egg of life first. And you became that embryo which was formed wonderfully and beautifully made in the image of God. And right there from your birth, you was victorious. Didn't matter where you came from. Didn't matter what house you lived in. Sure, the house that you may have grown up in could have been a house that probably didn't have a roof on it. Water may have rained down through it and got you wet, but at least God covered you there, even with the roof having holes in it. So what is he doing? He's saying you was already born a winner no matter where you came from. Remember, Mephibosheth came from Lodabar. Everybody forgot about him. And when they forgot about him, what did God do? Found favor with David and said, look, go down and find Saul and see if anybody left of his house. See if anybody left of the house of Jonathan. So there's Mephibosheth right there, this crippled man, lame. And so there's something about you and I that comes with this challenge. And what is this challenge in life? Based upon the fact that we are chosen. And not only chosen, but the progenitor, the predecessors of God's will. Hey, I want to share something with you. Coming out of the book of 1 Peter, chapter number 2, and verse number 9. We're going to look at this. We're going to pick back up where we left off last night. The Bible declares, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. I like that. Not only a chosen generation, but a royal priesthood. Wonder what it feels like to be in a royal priesthood, to sit among the who's who of the contest of it all. You ever went to high school? Saw all the beauty queens and everybody else that was the favorite picks. Looked like they just got all the attention. Mr. Muscle Man, Miss Beauty Queen. And then all of a sudden, 10 years later, they look like who did it, where at, what time, and don't nobody know when. Look like everything about them that you saw before wasn't what it is now. It was all just a facade. What is it about you and I that God have chosen in which we should be challenged in this life so much? Jesus said that you've not chosen me, but I've chosen you. Even before the foundation of the world. We're going to look at some heavy things tonight. The Bible declares a royal priesthood, not only a royal priesthood, but also a holy nation, a peculiar people. Have you ever wondered why you seem like you're different from everybody else? You ever figure out why sometimes you just can't fit in with everybody? Probably because you're peculiar. You're just different, especially if you're watching Living Strong. Because the average man is not going to sit down and just watch this level of word coming forth. Talking about challenge of the chosen now. Watch what's getting ready to happen. It's coming out. And you know it's coming out. You're saying, hold on, he's going to get there. You got that right. You got that right. Here it comes. That you should show forth, number one, you are a chosen generation, which means that no matter what you've been through in your past, I chose you even from the foundation of the world, and you came here outrunning not only millions, but billions, and then on top of that, you was made in this image of God, so there's something about you in life that's trying to block everything that you have been challenged and chosen to accomplish. What is the greatest thing inside of you that's lying dormant right now that you are saying, God, wait now, if I could just put this together, if I could just figure this out? Is it a relationship? Is it a marriage problem? Is it children? Is it an issue with a habit or a job? Whatever the goal may be, God is saying to tell you, you are chosen, you have a challenge, and on top of that, I know the thoughts that I'm thinking towards you. Why? Because there is something that is happening in your life and in my life, for the Bible says that we are cast down but not forsaken. And so there's something that God is doing that's bringing you back into the perfect order of what he's even ordained from the foundation of the world. So that wilderness day that you've lived in for the last time is coming to an end tonight. There are some people that's hiding behind the facade of life itself, not living life not one bit, not going around being happy, sitting down in an elevator that got only one button that goes down. And every time they mash and try to go up, the button goes down. And what God is trying to do is bring you to a place to where you realize that you are a chosen generation. You are not some person that sits back and lets society dictate where you're coming from and dictate where you're going. Just because you was born there don't mean you have to be there. And just because you came from there don't mean you have to stay there. Get out of there. Challenge of the chosen. Have you ever wondered how great athletes become who they are? Get out there, and those football players, they lift weights and they work out and they run. They got one goal in mind, becoming the best that they can be. Basketball players the same way. Each and every person that have this great goal, hockey player, soccer player, whatever the case may be, they turn inside the writers. There's a writer, you are listening to me, you're supposed to be writing. You're supposed to be on your third book right about now. Prophetic release is coming up Thursday. That's the word that God has given me for you right now. And he's saying evident spoken 500,000 starting out, plus peradventure he'll raise you up to 2.2 to 2.5 million in your first print. Get the job done. Now, what God is doing is that he's bringing you back to a place to where you realize that everything about you came with a challenge, and based upon the fact that you were chosen, because the enemy wasn't satisfied with seeing Adam and Eve with everything. He'll never be satisfied with seeing you happy as long as he can keep you sad, broke, oh God help me get to the message, miserable, busted, and disgusted, and sleeping with a demon or with the devil and satisfying yourself with just the world urges. You're done. Your goose is cooked. Can't happen that way with the challenge. Get the demon out of your life and the devil out of your house, temple, because you're making fool man. You make it hide behind the walls and hide behind society to fool man, but we can't fool God when we've been challenged and we've been chosen. I'm going to do whatever I want to do where you've been doing it. The Bible declares that you should show forth the praises. What does the challenge of the chosen do? Show forth the praise. Show forth means push forth. You ever seen some of the Christians that's the saddest folks in the whole world? They seem like they walk around like they've lost everything, the best friend. And I mean just sad folks. There was a time that you couldn't be holy until you were broke, poor, sad, ugly, and didn't have no makeup on and wore long dresses, and you had to have whatever, a big beanie on your head. That had nothing to do with salvation. You got folks right now that are stuck in religions and stuck in relationships, and they're stuck in life and stuck in situations, and they're sad, unhappy, and miserable because they do not know that they've been chosen to defeat that challenge. No matter how tired you may be, whenever the Lord drops something into your spirit, it calls you from darkness into light. And he breaks through those barriers, but he breaks through with your praises. Why is it that the devil's trying to shut down your praise? Why is it that he's trying to take away your joy? Because if he can kill your joy, if he can take your praise, he can stop you in the challenge and he can defeat you right then and there. But I get joy when I think about what the Lord has done for me. The psalmist said if I had 10,000 tongues, it wouldn't be enough to tell the story